A good Erev Shabbos, everyone. I'd like to do something that's going to sound crazy and that talk about a Haftorah that nobody is going to read. So if last week I spoke about a Haftorah that's a problem once in 27 years, this week I'm going to speak about a Haftorah that I don't think anyone's going to read. And that is a suggestion that has not yet been accepted. Dedicated to the memory of Lucy Maya and Rina D. We're not just in Shabbos Parshat Kedoshim, we're on the Shabbos before Yom HaAtzmaut. And a friend of mine last week, in the controversy of which Haftorah to read, had a suggestion, and he said, why not read this week the Haftorah of Od Hayom Ben Ov La'amod? It's the Haftorah of the 8th day of Pesach outside of Israel, which, of course, was not read in Israel because we don't have an 8th day. Why not read it on the Shabbos before Yom HaAtzmaut? After all, that Haftorah from Yeshayahu talks about many of the signs of redemption, many of which, Baruch Hashem, we have been privileged to see, and many which we're waiting to see. Why not read it on the Shabbos before Yom HaAtzmaut, which began the process of many of these signs of redemption? I thought there's a lot of validity to his wonderful suggestion. But of course, he consulted with 2 rabbis and they said, don't do it, you're going to look like a Reformed Jew, it's not a good idea, etc., etc. And I really don't understand them. And I'll tell you why. Number 1. The Ramah Paskins, in the very same simon that he said when to read the controversial Haftorah of last week, that if there's a chassan in shul, you read a special Haftorah. You throw away a Haftorah of, say, Parshat Emor or Parshat Chukat, and you read Sosasis Ba'Hashem, a Haftorah that talks about a chassan and a kala, a bride and a groom. It's an allegory of our relationship with God. So for one chassan in the room, we throw away the regular Haftorah for that week. But for an event that's coming up that week that affects all the Jewish people, and definitely everyone in that room, we can't change the Haftorah. Number 2, you may say, well, at least the chassan's having his Afruv that day. Yom HaAtzmaut doesn't come out that Shabbos. That's true, but after all, don't we read a Haftorah called Machar Chodesh because Rosh Chodesh is tomorrow? Don't we read a Haftorah on Shabbos HaGadol because Pesach is going to come out that week later? So why not read a Haftorah in honor of Yom HaAtzmaut on the Shabbos prior? In other words, we have valid precedent to do something like that in the Ramah, in the Shulchan Aruch. Why not do it? Moreover, this would solve the problem of the controversial Haftorah whenever it comes up, because if and when it comes up, it's probably going to come up around this time of the year, not always, but it may, and therefore we wouldn't have a problem with reading the controversial Haftorah of last week, because at least one of those weeks would be the Haftorah in honor of Yom HaAtzmaut. So from this perspective, I'd like to suggest that if there is a regular Haftorah on the Shabbos before Yom HaAtzmaut, that Haftorah that some people read on Yom HaAtzmaut without brachos, which is, in my opinion, crazy, because why are you reading a Haftorah on a weekday, which is not a fast day? Take it and read it on the Shabbos before, with proper brachos before and after, talking about what's coming up that week. It will add validity to that day. It will take away some of the more humorous parts of the tefillot that are offered on Yom HaAtzmaut. I spoke about last year what I'd like to see on that day and what I think I'd like to see taken away. One of the things is the Haftorah, but I don't want to see it put in a drawer. I'd like to see it on the Shabbos prior. And if we do that, not only are we not innovating, we're continuing the tradition in the Ramah. And just for your edification, the Mishnah Berurah doesn't say there, oh, we don't do that anymore. And it's true, most people don't do that anymore. But it's not like there was a big controversy then about his words. And I don't think there'll be a big controversy about it now. We change Haftorahs at will, and I believe that the miracle of having our state and our Jewish homeland is enough of an excuse to change a Haftorah on a Shabbos prior. As I said, I spoke about a Haftorah that I don't believe is going to be one read in your shuls this Shabbos, but who knows? Maybe as time goes on, this might be a reality. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom.